Oh, never mind. Hey, Jean.
Hey.
Hey, guys. Waiting for some more people to get on, and I'm waiting for Chris to get on. So stand by. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. I think some people are having technical difficulties getting on. A lot of people are saying they can't get on, so I'm hoping Chris is able to get on. I'm seeing more people getting on. There's Dina.
Yeah, sorry. Dina's trying to get on something here. Well, it's life, so.
Dina, are you talking? Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Good. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm still waiting for Chris. he said the other one was working. I'm waiting. Natalie, are you on? Natalie?
What, bud? I'm on a phone call for work, so you have to be quiet, okay? Nothing's going on yet. We're just waiting.
Oh. Hey, those of you that are on, did you use the new link or the old link? Was I posting?
I tried the first link and that wouldn't work. It kept saying the call was full. And then I saw your message pop up, so I used the other link.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, I sent that link to Chris. He was having trouble getting in too. I don't know what happened. My biggest fear was technical difficulties, and here we go. All right, looks like there's more people hopping on. Natalie, were you able to post that link in Leaders? Ah, cool. There he is.
What's
Hey, Chris.
up?
What's up? Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties.
That's all right.
We're just gonna wait for a few more people to get on. That's okay. I'm just gonna post this new link real quick in one of the other groups so that they can get on. Oh my goodness.
I'm drinking this water.
No, that's fine. My biggest fear was technical difficulties, and here we go. Oh well. That's the worst thing that happens to me today. It's okay. Of course.
Whew.
All right. I just posted. Okay. All right, we got a lot of more people joining now. All right. If everyone, I'm just going to do some quick housekeeping stuff. If everyone can, if you're not already muted, except for Chris, obviously, if you can mute yourself, that would be awesome. There is a group chat function on the right-hand side of your screen. So if you have questions as we go, feel free to leave those in the chat and we can go back to them at the end as well. So, well, thank you. I guess we'll go ahead and get started while there's some more people joining. I'm seeing them all popping on now. So I just wanted to thank Chris so much for joining us tonight. Everyone's been super excited for this call. I think we're all anxiously awaiting Shift Shop coming out. And so, I mean, tonight we had some questions for you just about the program, about you and your background. I've actually been doing some research a little bit, watching some other calls and things like that. And I heard your story and I just feel like it's just so inspiring And I would love it if you can kind of just share, I guess, like how you got started with Beachbody and how you got started just in general with fitness and the whole backstory as well. If that would be okay.
So that's it.
Well, just to jump in, but thank you so much for being here.
All right. So we can start with the story, and then from there we can just pretty much answer whatever questions you guys have. That sound good? Okay. So basically, like as far as the fitness background, I have a background training athletes. It's always been me training pro guy, a couple pro athletes, high school, college, and then, obviously, the young kids. And then I have business professionals also, but my specialty has always been athletes. And so I have 2 gyms here at home where, I train everybody. And then the whole concept of the whole training came from my uncle. It was a dream he had. Prior to that, I wasn't a trainer. I was only doing modeling and acting at the time. And so when he passed away is when after a brief time is when I decided to get into training. So the bio pretty much, summed that story up. But what brought me here was obviously his dream. I mean, he said that he had a dream that I had a fitness program that went global and it was impactful, that it was, change people's lives. He mentioned how, people were getting free of depression, anxiety, doubt, and all of a sudden they reinvented themselves and, fulfilled their purpose on the earth. And he said this became a global movement because of people, owning their purpose and just, manifesting it. So that was kind of the gist of his story. He just said it was a movement. He said it was empowering. And at the time I didn't really gravitate to it because, as I said, I was modeling and acting at the time. So I really wasn't interested in becoming a trainer, so, but what really got the ball rolling is 2 years ago, I got in trouble. I got a felony charge, it was a drug charge. And so basically what happened was my son's mom lived in this duplex. And so you walked through the duplex, there was 2 apartments in there. She lived to the right and she lived to the left. The one to the right was vacant. And there was a person who had some drugs delivered, shipped from California, some marijuana. And I was at the house, visiting my kid, and they was actually transitioning to move back into my place. And so we were split up for about 8 months. And so I saw the police go by the day before, but I thought they were just, patrolling the area, just patrolling the area. And so what they really were doing is they got my license plate. They saw my car in the driveway. I'm a pretty popular person in my company. I'm a pretty popular person in my community because of the team. I train the high school teams, and obviously I said, and then the pro guys or whatever. But so I'm pretty known. So they immediately was taken aback by it, and they thinking, okay, this makes sense. This guy's got a couple facilities. He's got a name for himself. Maybe he's smuggling drugs. So they were doing their job, and then what really did it was the next day. I'm over there visiting my son and his mom again, and this package arrives. So I go to I'm on the porch. I never physically touched the package. I never opened it, never touched it. I looked at it, and it had my son's mom's name on it. And I thought she ordered something. So I was like, did you order a package? And she was like, no, I didn't order anything. And she said, did you order me something? I said, no. So I'm looking at the package, and I'm like, it's a big package. So before you knew it, the police came around the corner. They were already surveying the area. They were on the street, and unmarked cars came out of the car. Said, hey, Chris, come here. Empty your pockets. I'm like, what's going on? They said, I emptied my pockets. I had my cell phones and I think like $80 or something in my pocket. And he said, you're in a lot of trouble. You know that, right? And I'm thinking, for what? He said, come on, let's not play games. And he said, what's in that box? And I said, no, actually, I don't. And so they had pulled her to the side, and they said, is Chris a drug dealer? And she was like, absolutely not. And then from there, they said, well, where did the drugs come from? She said, what drugs? Oh, now you don't know what's going on. She said, no, what are you talking about? There's drugs in the box. They put us together, and then they said, so no one knows where these drugs came from. I said, I don't know anything about that, man. And then she was like, I don't know anything. I didn't even know what was in there. He said, well, somebody's got to go down for this box. And Chris, if you're saying it's not yours and you don't know anything about it, then ma'am, it looks like you're going down for it. She said, I said, what do you mean she going down for it? You going to arrest her for something she didn't know? The package is in her name. We don't know that. I said, oh, so she's going to go to jail over something she didn't know? And they were like, absolutely, unless you want to tell us where this box came from. I said, well, then it's mine then. He said, what do you mean it's yours? I said, it's my box. He said, you're saying, you're admitting this. I said, is she going to get in trouble if I say the box is mine? And he was like, are you saying the box is yours? Yes, it's mine then. It's my box. It's mine. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? I said, it's my box, sir. It's mine. And he said, okay. So I got arrested. They took me down to the police station. And then it's the first time I ever been in trouble, man. It was kind of traumatizing, to be honest, because I'd never been in handcuffs. And so I'm in an interrogation room, and he's talking to me, and he says, so where did the package come from? Let us help you. You help us, we help you. And he says, so where did the package come from? And I looked at him in his face. I said, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. And he was like, okay, I get it. You don't want to tell on the person who sent it, but you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So, be in your best interest to work with us. I said, I don't know who sent the package. I have no idea who sent this package. And he kind of looked at me like, So he walked out, came back in and said, hey, I don't know what's going on here. Something doesn't seem right. I'm going to try to get you out of here just on a signature. But I got to talk to my boss. If I can get you out on a signature, you just have court. Going to have to get a good attorney. And you got some explaining to do. And so he goes and talks to his boss. And he comes back and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. My boss asked my boss if we could let you out on a signature. He said, nope, he's a public figure booking. So I said, well, what does book mean? So I had no idea what that meant. And he said, I have to book you in the jail, man. The media is going to find out in about an hour. And I'm like, oh. And right when that happened, I knew I knew it was about to get bad. So anyway, I bonded myself out like 8 hours later after the process, and I had to go to court the next day, and it was just mayhem in my city, man. It was bad. I mean, they beat me up. They beat me up really bad as far as my character. They thought I was a drug smuggler. I mean, based off of, reading the article, they didn't know. And, a lot of people, said that that's how I funded my gyms, and it was all a front and different things like that. And, I need to be thrown in prison and not out because of my influence and being around kids. And, this is the guy we have around your kids. This is bad. He needs punished. And what that part of the persecution, I was okay with dealing with it because I had to respect where they were coming from. Even though it wasn't true, they didn't know that. But what bothered me was what my daughter had to go through. I had a daughter. She's a senior in high school at the time. And she started getting bullied. People started saying, your dad's a drug dealer. We thought he was an honest person. He's around all us athletes. What a negative influence. And so she didn't take that too lightly. And then she started getting bullied even more. People started threatening to send drugs to our house, plant drugs in her car, to try to, make sure I got in a lot of trouble because they were upset. And so from there, there's an app you can get in your app in the iPhone where you can choose a phone number. And if I was to choose a phone number, I can call you, I can text you. You can only text me back, but you can't call me back. And so she started getting phone calls in the middle of the night. Just so you know, there's drugs on your porch. She would get up and run to the front door, which would freak me out. I would jump and, what are you doing? Someone said there's drugs on our porch. So it really started psychologically affecting her. And so she was becoming unglued and just, she's like, Dad, just tell the truth. Tell him it's not yours. I said, sweetheart, there's nothing I could do about that. I already said it was mine. Well, the person whose drugs it was, he even came forth and said, dude, I'm sorry, man. I got you in this jam. I'm more than willing to go to the police myself and say it was mine, man. I just don't want you to get in trouble. I'm like, dude, they ain't gonna believe you. They gonna think you're trying to cover for me, man. And so I said, I got to eat it. And so my daughter was like, well, what are we going to do? Your reputation is ruined. I'm being bullied. We're going to lose everything. What if you go to prison? And I said, we got to figure out a way to rise above it. And so her and I just kind of started bickering a lot because she wanted me to tell the police the truth. However, I just couldn't do it because I already said it was mine. And so we had a falling out where she didn't do her laundry before she left. I have a rule at my house. She said if she goes away for the weekend, her laundry had to be done on Friday. If she's home for the weekend, it had to be done Sunday by 6. And she left and went to her grandma's house. I called her when I came home, and her laundry was in the laundry room. I said, hey, what are you doing? She's like, I'm at grandma's. I'll be home Sunday. I said, but you have laundry in the laundry room. I'll do it Sunday. No. You're going to come home and do it now. After your laundry's over, you can go to your grandma's. She got upset with me. You know, she was mad. I don't want to come there. I can't sleep. People are threatening to send drugs to the house. I hate my life right now, Dad. You have no idea what you're not telling the police the truth is doing to me. I'm going crazy. And so what happened was I said, well, you need to come do your laundry. I'm not coming. And I'm like, whoa. I said, okay, well, you got 15 minutes to get here. You don't get here in 15 minutes, you're going to have a bigger problem. So 15 minutes went by, 20 minutes went by. She didn't show up. So I called her. I'm not coming. I said, okay, well, I'm going to come get your car. And then so you grounded from your car. So she got mad. She went to, she said, I hate my life. I don't even want to live anymore. I hate you. I hate all of this. And so she went to the local Rite Aid and bought a box of extra strength Tylenol. And she went back to her grandma's house, made her some bath water, turned the music up. She took 30 extra strength Tylenol. Her grandpa came home unexpectedly from work, and he had to use the restroom. He's knocking on the bathroom door, didn't hear anything, went downstairs, asked his wife how long has she been in the bathroom. She said, she's been there quite a while. He said, I have to use the restroom. So he went back, knocked on the door. Hey, sweetheart, I got to use the bathroom. How long are you going to be? Still didn't hear anything. So he kind of cracked the door. He didn't want to walk in on her, but he cracked the door to kind of just use his voice to ask her how long she would be. But when he looked through the door, he saw her hands draped over the bathtub, and she was unresponsive from the pills. So they ended up rushing her to the ER. There was nothing the local hospital could do for her. So they shipped her to Children's Hospital, and she was in the ICU for 4 days. And Child Services got involved, and they just destroyed me. They blamed me for the whole thing because of the stress she was under. They said that I didn't deserve to have her. I've been raising my daughter since she was 2 months old by myself. So I got custody of her when she was 2 months old. And so they really beat me up. So I didn't deserve to have her, living with me. And it was really bad, man. So from there, my world just crushed. It was rock bottom. I came home that one of the days from the hospital from visiting her, and my buddy called me, really good friend of mine. He was the person that was responsible for shooting all my YouTube material that was on YouTube. At the time, I had a huge following. I think my training was in like 215 countries. I had almost 3 million views, and about 20,000 subscribers. And so from there, he told me, he said, dude, I hate to call you with this, man, but due to your current circumstances, I can't be affiliated with you no more. I can't do your videos. I said, man, I can't believe you saying this to me, but I understand. So him and I got off the phone. I kind of just sat there like this and was just unglued, man, just lost, broken. Like my whole world has just crashed over something I never even did. And so I got up the next day. I looked at my bank account. I had $20,000 saved up that I'd been saving. And I looked at my account, and I got up and I went and bought a whole production. So I came home with this production, cameras, software, and I didn't know how to use any of it. I mean, I knew how to turn power on the cameras. That was the gist of it, but I had no knowledge of what I was doing. And so I kind of got, I kind of got myself in a hole, my family here, because I spent money and I'm out on bail. I still have to go to court in 2 months. My daughter's in the hospital. And so, my son's mom kind of ripped me really bad for that one. What kind of dad goes and blows $18,000 on production equipment when your daughter's in the hospital in ICU and we don't know what's going to happen? And if you go to prison, what kind of money are we going to live on? But that's not what I was thinking. My mindset was about, finding a solution to everything. And so I was in such a bad place that I needed something to help resurrect me and to help me pull me through, because I've always been the motivator. I've always been the person that lifted everybody else up. And the only person who had that kind of influence over me that would motivate me to be better or motivate me to strive to come out of tough situations was no longer here. He was dead, and it was my uncle. And so at that point, when I realized he wasn't here to help me, I really got depressed, because now I felt like I let his dream down and I disgraced his dream. So now I'm dealing with the guilt of that. Kids in the hospital, My home life was falling apart, and I needed energy. I needed something that would pick me up. So what I did is I started thinking about every movie from the time I was a child to adult that's ever motivated me. And so did I ever felt motivated or ever gave me some kind of glimpse of my dreams or what I wanted to become? And I looked at my account and I had like $2,200 in there. And I ordered $1,700 worth of movie posters. And of course, they started arriving every day in boxes. And again, my son's mom was like, "What is this?" And she opened a box. "Why'd you buy movie posters?" And she didn't understand it. And man, she threatened to leave, take my son. She was livid. And so what I did is, if you look, this is my man cave. You know, I have all my posters all around my man cave. I have like 30 of them. But all these posters represented something. So I was going through such a tough time with my character and being beat up, and I couldn't respond out of emotion. I had to really really take it on the chin and turn the other cheek. So what I really leaned on is over here. I have a picture of Gandhi. It's a movie poster. Gandhi's one of my favorite movies. I had to like demonstrate Gandhi's character when he was being persecuted and judged and mocked. And because I knew I couldn't get any more trouble. I had 3 years of prison hanging over my head. So at this point, I get 3 years of probation. And one movie poster that really stuck out to me was this Kung Fu Panda one right here. That's one of my all-time favorites. And it was all about that in the movie, that veil, that piece of paper, and how, you know, everybody was so interested about this paper. But at the end of the movie, that paper represented whatever you wanted it to represent. It was a blank paper. It was what you wanted to create. And that just stuck out to me because I'm in a situation now where now my account's in the negative. My daughter's out of the hospital, but she hates my guts. My home life is still a wreck, and we have no money. My account's in the negative. It's just all bad, man. And so my gyms are failing, and I lost tons of members. I lost all my teams. And so I'm rock bottom. Again, dealing with the guilt of my uncle, I wrote myself a letter. And in this letter, I took every area of my life in this letter. And in the letter, I wrote what I wanted my life to be. Not what was going on, but what I wanted it to be. That was the only thing I had to help make the shift in my mind. And so what happened was I would read this letter three times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night, especially when I got down. But I was just reading words, and I felt like that's not good enough. Like I need to give these words life. I got to give these words a heartbeat. So the only way I could give the words a heartbeat to give it life is I had to connect emotion to it. I had to make them personal. I had to make it real to me. So there was times I would read this letter and cry, like in a celebratory way, like, man, I overcame all these obstacles. Or I would read it from a humble state, just in deep appreciation that I got a second chance to use my talents, use my gift, and resurrect my life. And so in the letter, there was a section of the letter that said that it was my career. And it said that through social media, YouTube, Facebook or Instagram, I will partner with a company and do great things. In the meantime, while I'm working on this letter and trying to create this reality, Carl is on his Malibu ranch running on his turf. He's got this 50 yards of turf in Malibu surrounded by the mountains. And he's out there running, and he thinks to himself, man, I want to create a program outside. Well, that would be cool. So in the meantime, before I'm done with the letter, I take my little 2-year-old son to the gym. And prior to that, I had a guy come to my house 2 days a week for 3 months to teach me how to use my software. And that was all. I hadn't filmed a video yet. So I took little Chris to the gym, and I filmed him training, me training him. I came home, edited the training, and put it up on YouTube. Carl goes in his home, goes on YouTube, looks up workouts on turf, and the very first video that I ever filmed and edited was the video that Carl saw. And from there, he looked me up, found out I had a felony, and he told the company, let's just watch him for a little bit. Let's just put him on the shelf. Let's look for other trainers. He has a felony. He's got a felony. He's got some legal issues. And so that's what makes me love that guy so much, because he could have just written me off right there. And so to close the story, what happened was I'm still working on this letter, still reading the letter, still connecting with the letter. All of a sudden, things started attracting to my life that was on this letter, and my current situation just started disappearing. My gym started getting more members. I started getting more clients. And 5 months later, Beachbody called, and then they told me, they said, we want you to be the face of an outdoor training program. but before we turn you into a superstar, is there anything we should know about your background? So I told him what happened. So we ended up getting a deal done 2 months later. I left for California for 4.5 months. And at the time, Shift Shop didn't exist. The name of the program was called OCD, which stood for Outdoors with Chris Downing. And so we're out. We put a mock program together. We're out in the field working the program, trying to see how we can make it an outdoor program. And we kept having interferences from sirens and dogs barking. Because of the nature of the way I train, I like to engage. I like to talk to you. I like to keep you in the moment. It was just kind of difficult to convey that with those distractions. So Carl said, let's take it back indoors, make it a 21-day program, but we didn't have a name. So we went through the test group, and we went through the whole process, and we was down to the last day before we had to have a name submitted. And the names we had submitted didn't go through legal because of other companies who had that name in their company, and we didn't want to get sued. So Carl said Shift Shop. And I'm like, what? Shift Shop? And so Jack said, I don't think Chris likes it. So Carl said, let's meet tomorrow. And he said to me, he said, you don't like Shift Shop? I said, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't understand it. I can't connect to it. He said, let me explain why I think this is the name for us. He said, I was driving down La Brea Avenue, and all I saw was a bunch of shops. And I started thinking to myself, people take their broken up cars to these shops. You open the garage, the car goes in, the car gets broken down, it gets sanded, repainted, and 3 weeks later, these people get their car brand new, refreshed, reinvented, refined. He said, that's what you do to people. You break them down, you speak confidence into them, you give them hope, you get them in shape, you give them confidence, and then you release them to the world. And I said, sold. And that's where Shift Shop came from. And then the shifting component came from shifting from 25 minutes to 10 minutes extra the next week to 35 to 45. And that's what we were going with in the rehearsals, but it just didn't click all the way as far as the shifting component. And what really made it apparent to me, I said, no, this shift is way more than just 10 minutes each week adding to this workout. I thought about that letter and the shift in mindset I had from being in a broken state. I had to shift my thoughts to create a reality from a letter that I wrote to myself, from an emotion that I attached to create a heartbeat in this letter. And I took all my pain, all the rejection, all the betrayal, all the hurt, all the guilt, everything I dealt with in that year and a half, and I took it and put it in the program and made it a personal development workout program. And that's why it's called Shift Shop. That was a pretty long story.
No, it was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing it. So for people who maybe not for people who are not maybe familiar with the program, can you explain a little bit more about the logistics of how it works and what the workouts are like?
Yeah, so the workouts is very simple. It's for anybody. People ask who the program is for. Anybody who wants to be the best that they could be. Period. It doesn't matter if you weigh 100 pounds or you need to lose 100, or if you're extremely fit. The program is tailored around you do the best you can do during each workout. There's a modification to every workout. There's absolutely no impact. And the workout is full of like motivation. It's full of engagement. There's so much interaction on the set between me and the cast that everybody feels like they're a part of it. It's just kind of like it's like a personal development workout program where everyone feels like I'm speaking to them personally.
And there's new equipment that comes with the program, with the markers. How do those work, and what is the purpose of the markers?
So the markers of the program are only used for the cardio portion, and they're used as a target point for because we put them in different formations for whatever the time period is per exercise. And what we did is we really took it to a next level. During rehearsal when we were working with the markers, we would just navigate through them and touch them. And I'm like, no. When you tap this marker, it's got to mean something to you. Like, just don't tap the marker. Like, think about your dreams. Think about your goals. Think about all the things that ever held you back. Visualize that being that marker. When you tap that marker, you got to own it. If you want to be free of depression, slap that marker and say, no more depression. Or if you think that you're in the best shape of your life, slap that marker. I'm in the best shape of my life. You got to claim it. And when we did that, people started writing on the markers, and it got real personal. So yeah, the markers are used during the cardio portion of the workout. And then we use medium to light dumbbells for the strength. And then there's a deluxe package to the program where you use the PT sandbag.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And so, I mean, I've seen a ton of amazing transformations coming out of the test group. What would you say was like the biggest transformation you saw, whether it be somebody's physical transformation or mental?
I think it was overall mental. The physical transformation was apparent. I mean, you see people like in 21 days getting, actually like 12 days getting abs, you know, but it wasn't even about that. Like the abs, the losing weight, you know, the definition, those was all perks. What each and every person in that test group got was they got a glimpse of their potential. They got a glimpse of their purpose through, you know, the engagement and the motivation in the program. You know, I forced everybody to really look inward and really think about all the dreams they ever aborted, all of mentally aborted, all of the things that has ever held them back, all the insecurities that they've ever held on to that was, you know, placed on them by other people, all the things that literally, all the setbacks, all the failures. And I convinced them to understand that all those dreams are still alive inside of you. All you got to do is get a glimpse of your potential and it'll change your life forever, because that's what happened to me. You just got to believe it, power through the workouts, and it's just so empowering. And once it clicks, once you make that shift that, you know what, I am strong, I am intelligent, you know, I am worthy, I am capable, I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. They took that concept, guys, and they went off to the races with it. And before you knew it, they looked in the mirror. Oh my gosh, I have abs, I lost weight. So it became a total life transformation.
And then the meal plan with this one is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. What are the major differences in the two?
The difference is we do like a little bit of a carb depletion. So the first week, it's a 25-minute workout. So that week you get carbs, you get starchy carbs. The second week we give you less starchy carbs. The third week you get 0 carbs. But throughout the whole process, throughout the whole program, you get fruits and veggies and greens all throughout. We just take away the starches week by week, so that by the third week, your body is using stored fat for energy and not carbohydrates, which is why people was leaning out so quickly.
Okay. And as coaches, I mean, we work with people of all fitness levels as well. What would you say, or what could we say to really help people who maybe are just starting out in their fitness journey with this program?
Well, first and foremost, you want to do your challenge groups and let me help you with it. Let me help you add me to your challenge groups so I can help convey the message to your challengers. So that way you don't have all the pressure of it. And while I'm helping you, you guys have to go through the program for yourself and get your shift. See, what happened was all the stuff I went through and even developing a program, that was my shift moment. The letter, all of that was my shift moment. It was a reinvention of myself, a reinvention of my mindset. And then I just delivered that in the program, which is why I gravitated to so many people, because they kind of felt, you know, the pain I went through. So I would say, first and foremost, you know, when you do the program, write a letter to yourself. What do you really want for yourself? And I mean, don't play it safe. I mean, really, what do you really want? And when you do that, you know, read that letter to yourself, go into the program, allow the motivation from the program to change your mindset. And then when you start seeing the results, you start feeling better, you start getting a glimpse of your potential, glimpses of your purpose, understand that you was created to do great things. When you step out, that's going to be infectious to your team. Your team's going to wonder, why are you so happy? Oh my gosh, you're so fit. Why are you so positive? It's just infectious. They want to know why you are the way you are. And you tell them, this is what happened. I had to write goals. I had to write a letter. I had to convince myself through affirmations and doing this program that I deserve this lifestyle. And so in the meantime, I'll be in the challenge groups, leaving everyone messages and talking to the new people, because at the end of the day, guys, we live in a time now where so many people are just upset, they're depressed, they're hurt, they're lost, and they don't really understand their purpose. So they're just getting beat up by life. But this program is teaching you how to take control over your life, take control over and create whatever you want for yourself, because that's exactly what I did when I wrote the letter. And in the meantime, I'm going to be in challenge groups talking to you and talking to your challenge members. So that makes sense.
It totally does. No, I love that. So looking back to from the time you wrote that letter until where you are now today, like what has been the biggest like change for you? What's been the biggest surprise? You know, how's your life different now?
My life's different in a sense of I walk in. I've never been an arrogant person. I've always been pretty reserved. I walk in so much humility and appreciation that I'm even in this position, because I could be in prison right now. And technically I'm supposed to be in prison right now. And so, you know, when I wake up every day and I understand, like, man, I get this, like, my uncle's dream is alive. Like it really happened. And I get to convey that to the world. You know, I have a gift. I acknowledged it. I understand the gift is way bigger than me. I'm not as good as the gift. It's the gift that everybody's gravitating to. It's not me. I have flaws. I could disappoint you when we get off this off this call. I'm a human being, but the gift is infectious. The gift is impactful. The gift is love and empowering, and inspiring people. And so more than anything, it's just deep appreciation that, you know, the network, you guys have all been, you know, receptive of the program. I'm pretty sure everybody looked my name up when I got announced and saw I had a drug conviction. You could have easily, you know, attacked corporate. You could have easily said, Carl, what are you doing? But you guys were kind of, you know, patient to kind of see what would materialize. So I got to thank you guys for giving me a second chance. You know, Carl gave me a chance. You guys gave me a chance. The judge gave me a chance. So I have a lot to be grateful and appreciative for. So there's a whole lot.
So one thing I connect with you, I mean, you talk about your relationship with your uncle. I had a very similar relationship with my mom, who also passed away suddenly a few years ago from cancer. If you had one thing that you could say to him right now, what would it be?
If I had one thing to say to him, I would just say thank you. Because I fought the dream. I wanted nothing to do with this. I would tell him, you know, I would say thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for loving me. And in my mind, this is crazy. It sounds crazy. If he would have never passed away, there's no way I would have been a trainer. So I almost feel like he passed away so that I could fulfill my purpose. I really strongly believe that. And, you know, it's revolutionized my life. It's completely changed my life. Even at my worst state, I was able to get redemption from it. And there's no way I'm gonna let him down, you guys down, my family down ever again. Or I'm never gonna own a package that isn't mine.
And yeah, and I know you probably can't elaborate on this most likely, but any ideas for future programs? Like, have you put any thought into maybe something that you may want to do in the future?
Well, actually, I just recently signed with a company, and because I had a modeling and acting background, as I stated earlier. I just got with a management company in New York. That's actually one of LeBron James' good friends. My cousin dates LeBron's barber, and so he's really good friends with LeBron's assistant and best friend Maverick, and they know who I am. So they made a call for me once I got signed to Beachbody, and got me signed to a really good company in New York as management for movies and television series. So, you know, after the program comes out, I'm gonna kind of get my foot back into acting and modeling, and not so much modeling, but acting. And I just signed I got a clothing line coming out, a Chris Downing clothing line. I got a company that's going to take care of that, and I manufacture my clothes. But yeah, I'm going to keep pumping out Beachbody programs as they come. I'm going to ride this wave for a little bit, and I'm going to bring hopefully Ship Shop too.
That's awesome. Does anyone have any questions? If you do, feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and.
We have time. We got about 15 minutes, so you can ask away.
Never heard your story before, and just very impressed with you, very impressed with your attitude for all that you've been through, and I cannot wait to do your program. I'm so freaking stoked and so appreciative that you're on this call tonight. You have no idea. And I know we're missing some teammates because for some reason everybody couldn't get on. I'm not sure why the team call was full, but we're recording it, so I know they're anxious to hear from you. But thank you for just being amazing and for being part of our family now.
Wow, thank you for that. Thank you for the compliment, your kind words. I really appreciate it. That's thank you.
Thank you.
You got any more? Uh-oh. You guys disappear on me?
Well, Natalie, who is my coach who just spoke, knows that I have not been on a call in forever, and I'm embarrassed by it. But I got invited to this call, and I said, oh my gosh, I cannot miss this call. I am on edge. I cannot wait to get my hands on this program. Really, like the second it comes out, I want to be ready to start it. Like I am way, way, way past excited for this. So
Wow. I will tell
appreciate you sharing your story.
Oh no, I have to be. I feel like the story is what made me. The story is what brought me here. You know, I sit back a lot, and I sit back and I think to myself, this is crazy. How did this happen? You know what I mean? But the program, I'm being honest with you guys, and this is the honest to goodness truth. In fact, I'm gonna be real transparent. So I'm running a test group at my gym today. The last 6 weeks, and we had a night session, and we were doing super speed 50. And I got emotional, like hearing myself talk to myself, you know, talk to me because I do the test group with them as a participant. And it was just a period where I had it in my surround sound in my gym, and just hearing the way I was talking, and I forgot some of the things I've even said, but it even pierced me. Like it got me emotional during the workout, but I was sweating, but nobody could see. And I did like this is just unbelievable, because it was right when I needed it. It was when I was so tired, and I felt like I had nothing else, and my own voice just empowered me. I was like, this is crazy. It freaked me out.
I do have a question. In watching the promo videos, particularly with the markers, there seems to be, it looks like you need a lot of space. And if I have somebody who has a limited space in their living room or wherever they're working out, what do I tell them? Like, how do they modify for that? You know, if that's a situation that comes.
Okay, so that's an excellent question. And if it was me, so say, okay, let's role play. So say you come to me and you say, Coach, you know, I want to do this program, and I don't feel I have the room. I don't think I'm gonna get the workout out that I'm not gonna get the best out of it. So what I would tell you is I would say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I need you to be open-minded to something. First of all, that's doubt that surfaced, and to convince you that you don't have enough space. And I would tell you, it's not about how much space you have. It's about the effort you put forth, what space is available to you. So you want to take this to another level. And what I mean by that is, again, I'm going to go back to that whole letter situation. First of all, I'm going to be so appreciative and grateful that I even have a space to work out in. Then I'm going to go in this program. I'm going to give my absolute best, even if it's a 4x4 or 5x5 space, right? Now, as I get through this program, I'm gonna get a glimpse of my potential. I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna be more confident. I'm gonna get in better shape. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna come out of this program. I'm gonna empower my team. My team, they're gonna make the shift. They're gonna gravitate to my strategy that I use to empower myself. They're gonna empower themselves, and they're gonna empower their downline, and then their downline. And what's gonna happen is my business is gonna grow. Then my revenue is gonna increase. So now I'm at a point where I'm in this little apartment, but I'm making great money. I think I want to buy a house now, or build my own house. Now you're going to buy a house that has a bigger weight room space, or build a house to the weight room you want. Then you're going to build this home based on what you created for yourself by maximizing that small space, growing your team. And then a new coach is going to come in. There's going to be a program out, and the program may need some space. And they're going to say, I don't know if I could do this program because I don't have space. Guess who has a message for them? You do. Coming from small beginnings, appreciation, maximizing what you have, making a shift, empowering yourself, loving yourself, inspiring yourself, reinventing yourself, taking that to your team, empowering your team, growing your team. Before you know it, revenue increases. Now you're in a better place to create whatever kind of space you want. That message is going to be so powerful to that coach because you lived it. See, I can't tell you guys a bunch of things if I didn't live it. This program has so much influence because I lived it. I lived the depression, the anxiety, the hurt, the pain, the setbacks, the failure, the guilt. I took all those emotions emotions and put it in the program as motivation, because I never wanted any person that I ever came in contact with to feel the things I felt, that brokenness, that being on an island by themselves, nobody believing in you, no hope. Just, I never wanted a person to ever feel that. That's why there's so much passion and so I'm crying out in this workout, because I want you to understand you don't want to go to where I was at. You don't want to feel that. Get a glimpse of your potential. Empower yourself right now. Manifest your greatness. Go create the life you were supposed to live a long time ago. All the dreams you aborted, resurrect them. Go for your dreams more now than ever. And once you get that glimpse, I'm telling you, it's over. Your life is going to a level just unbelievable. That was a pretty long illustration, but I think you got it. So space is an issue, to answer your question.
I did. Thank you.
Or you do like I've done and laid on the ground, took my legs, pushed furniture all around my house, and I made room.
Yeah, someone told me last week on the call, someone had an apartment and they didn't have a space. They didn't know what to do. So what they did is they stood their furniture up against the wall. I about lost it. It was so cool. I laughed for like 3 minutes, man. It was hilarious. I loved it though. Whatever it takes, man. Any more questions?
Are you ready for Summit? Do you know what to expect? Have they prepared you?
You know what? They've been trying to prepare me. One of the things that, I talk to everybody a lot, actually a couple times a week, 3 or 4 days a week. And they just like, dude, why are you so calm all the time? Are you not excited about Summit? It's like, man, I came from such a, rock bottom place. Like, I'm just in such great appreciation, and I keep everything from me. I don't get super excited about a whole lot. And so I'm just ready to share my gift, man. I'm ready for my Friday workout to just release all my passion on those people. I got a goal. I have to make sure everybody leaves that area better than they came. And in the super workout, I think I get 10 minutes with all 20,000, 30,000 people, however many show up. And I got to make sure they never forget me. I got to make sure they never forget who I am. I'm going to let it out.
I know that'll happen. You made quite the impact in Punta Cana, for sure. I wasn't on the first trip, but I did see the video of when you pulled a girl on stage, and I was like in tears watching that.
Oh man, it was powerful.
Does anyone? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm waiting.
All right. Well, I am sorry that we had some technical difficulties. I did all sorts of research to figure out how we can get the most people on, and everything said Google Hangouts is unlimited viewers, so I thought we would have the most people on here, and then people were saying it was full for some reason. So like Natalie said, we'll share it with all of our teams, make sure that everybody sees it. But I really, really thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is such a treat, and we're so, so excited to have you on.
Well, I appreciate you guys, asking me to call. And hey, thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Hey.
See you soon.
Bye.